big star out of me. They'll make a film about a man who's sad and lonely, and all I gotta do is act naturally. Well, I'll bet you I'm gonna be a big star. Might win an Oscar, you can never tell. The movie's gonna make me a big star.
Hello, how are you? Konnichiwa, and welcome to Meet Me at the Movies. I am Noel Zane. Appreciate you hanging out, spending some time with us. Zane Gray, Zane, we got Zane back. Zane's over here. We appreciate Zane, and you were the guy who did the research and development this week. So you did all the work. So if
I did all the work, so I should be getting credit.
Well, I was going to say if you have any complaints about the show, you can blame Zane because
fine.
he did all the work, all the research, all the development.
Come at me, I'll take it.
And I'll say all of it. I did throw in some wild cards, so you did 99.7% of it.
That's still a lot of the work.
It's a lot of the work, and we do have yes.
What percentage does that leave for me to have contributed?
0.3.
Well, that's coming up.
I turned the
because-
lights on.
because I do have a that over there beside camera one. That is Greg Tillman, of course. We do appreciate you, our audience, our studio audience as well. We have a studio audience. Where's the studio audience today? Is that here? Yeah, look, they're back.
They're back.
Yeah, they're back. We appreciate Leary and Curly back. And then if you look actually behind Mr. Greg Tillman, you can see Mo. Mo is back
Mo.
there behind him. See, he's back. See, there's Mo. So we're
Oh, no, that's John Rudisell,
that is John Rudisell.
our frequent
Well,
contributor to non-viewer mail.
Absolutely, but we have a full show today. But before we get to that, you know, Zane did do the R&D, and this is a little Meet Me in the Movies quiz of the week. This is a little new segment we're
boy.
going to add. It's a multiple choice.
Might as well give me the F while I'm here.
Multiple choice.
I didn't do my homework. I didn't
and so
prepare.
here's the question: why did we entrust Zane to conduct the research and development for this week's show? That's the question. All right. Answer one: because Greg lost his glasses and he couldn't see his computer screen. That's A. Choice
Always
A.
a possibility.
Yep.
Yeah.
B, Tim, back there in the Tim camp, Tim was too busy getting flirted with at Denny's. That's the.
That's a probability.
That's because temptation eyes. Yep. That's the second option. And of course the question again is why did Zane do all the work this week? C, because Noel was busy enjoying the pleasures of the family stomach bug.
Wait, you forgot one option.
No, they're not. That's not all. No, no.
It's D.
Yep.
Yeah.
D, because Zane was the most capable, or E, all of the above.
All the above.
What do you think?
I just assumed no one else wanted to do it, but I didn't hear that as an option.
Yeah, it wasn't an option, and yeah, that
Well, I'll
was-
go with all the above.
all the above. Yeah, all the above. Yeah.
Oh, you cheated.
So there you go. There's so for those of you taking score.
How do you think I got through college? No, I can't say that here.
You know, if you if you got the correct answer, we will send you a nice parting gift. Just email us info@c19.tv
What's the gift?
for what your gift is. We've got a catalog. It's the MAM catalog.
Okay.
It's an old Sears catalog.
It is.
Go figure. Yeah.
Well, I do want to thank Zane. Thanks for doing all the work. It was a lot of fun letting somebody else do it. And
You know, I knew something was up because this is so neat.
It's
Compared
really
to
not.
what I usually
mean, it's
get.
probably the most. It's not that scholarly written.
Now you graduate. You know,
In
you
3
just
days, yeah.
graduate. That's
In
right.
3 days.
So, can he continue to revise your notes? Because I mean, this is a whole lot better than what you usually send me.
yeah, we'll see.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
you know, I could call him an intern.
I'll
and,
pay
you
you
know.
what I pay him.
That's probably not much.
Well, we are going to talk today about summer movies 2019. The summer movie season already started, of course.
Kind of, really.
You know, I mean, with preseason, but it's going to take a lot for any movie to find the success financially that Endgame is continuing to find. It's going to be tough. So where do you go from here? Well, there's tons of movies. We're going to give you a handful and hopefully more if we have time. So Zane, since you put this list together, we're going to do the round robin thing, but I'm going to let you start it off. So make sure you get the movie
So
you want to talk about.
Sure.
We'll do one at a time.
One of the movies that's opening up this summer is the 9th film made by Quentin Tarantino, and that's Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Yeah.
It stars Brad Pitt, Leonardo DiCaprio, Margot Robbie. It's set in the 1960s about a television actor and his stunt double who embark on an odyssey to make their name for themselves in the film industry. I love Tarantino. He's supposed to be, the rumor has it, after his 10th film, he's supposed to be done. I don't believe that.
Yeah.
I think a man of that talent
Yep.
cannot stop working. So yeah, it's easily one of my most anticipated movies of this year too. So that's definitely the one I'm looking forward to as one of the most of this summer.
Yeah, he does so few films.
Yeah.
When he does it, it is an adventure
Adventure film,
and it's
yeah.
an event. And when you were talking, I thought you were going to say it's about two Teletubbies. I'm like,
No.
what? Two Teletubbies? Well, I didn't see that in
That
the
would
movie.
Which two?
But it's cool to see him team up with DiCaprio
Yeah.
and Brad Pitt again, and to
Yeah.
have them in the same movie together is really cool because those are really two of the biggest names in Hollywood, I would argue. And to have
Still,
them,
yeah, it's pretty
Yeah,
amazing.
absolutely. So
Cool. Awesome. All right, Mr. Tillman, what's on? What do you want to pull off the list?
I've been pulling down the clip. I've got to go with the Godzilla.
Okay.
I know
cool.
the critics are probably going to hate it.
I'm not
But who
gonna hate
doesn't
it.
like giant monsters?
We're critics.
Huh?
We're critics.
Well, you are.
You are too, man.
But you're probably going to like it because you're still a kid at heart.
it's got,
I
it's
love
got, it's
monster
got
movies.
Rodan Mothra, and
It can't get any better
I
than
know.
that.
Well, we've talked about this.
And it's
We
going to be
love-
critic-proof anyway.
We love
yeah.
disaster films. We
Oh,
love
yeah, yeah.
the post-apocalyptic films. We're drawn to those, and of course, some are better than others. But we look for every summer. We look for those, and we talk about it.
I am, yeah.
Yeah. All right, I want to throw one out there. We talked about Child's Play. We talked about Chucky. There's a Child's Play reboot, and the only reason I'm going to mention it is because Mark Hamill is playing the voice of Chucky. That's the only reason I want to mention it, and you know what? I will listen to it. I don't know. I will go see it because I've
I'll
watched
see
it
it.
before.
That wasn't even on the list.
Did you like the Child's Play films?
You know, I like the first few. I mean, I was a teenager when they came out, and it was a fun experience. Were they great movies? No. But the first one was really witty and unique, and that's what I liked about it. They got crazy after that.
Yeah, they sure did.
And they continue to get crazy. And this one is too, but you know,
Is there anyone
Mark
else
Hamill.
in this movie other than Mark Hamill?
I don't care. Mark Hamill's.
He has to kill someone.
It's
so
Mark
there's
Hamill.
Well,
someone
I
else in it, yeah.
don't know. I don't know. Like, I'd rather see another horror franchise get rebooted than Chucky, but
Yeah. Well, you know, when you got a crazy demonic doll possessed by the voice of Mark Hamill, what else can you ask for?
Who
in a movie?
doesn't have one of those?
Exactly.
Exactly.
All right, next movie, Mr.
So
Mr.
the
Zane.
next movie is one that's is actually opening up in a couple weeks, and that is Rocket Man, the not supposedly biopic about Elton John, but a musical fantasy of his life, directed by Dexter Fletcher, which is actually starring Taron Egerton. They've had a very good relationship with something called Eddie the Eagle, which is a very good movie.
That was a good movie.
I'm a big fan of Elton John's music, and to see him finally get a movie about his life, the fact that it's in a very unconventional way is exciting. So, and that's opening up, I think, the same weekend as Godzilla, King of the Monsters. So, interesting to see which one comes on top of the other.
It's the summer of movies. I mean, we go back, last year and we had Bohemian Rhapsody, which really did much better than
And I thought it would. Yeah.
anybody
Yeah.
really anticipated.
Yeah.
I mean, nobody expected the Oscars that it got. Nobody expected the crowd pleasing. They thought it was going to be, you'd have your kind of your cult following of people that love the music of Queen, and that will be pretty much it.
Yeah.
Much better. I mean, I think this is really a perfect timing for this kind of film, and there are a couple other movies that are musically infused too that I hope we get a chance to talk
Yeah.
about on the show. And if we don't, you can email us at info@c19.tv and we can get you
Good plug.
that list. So awesome. All right.
Well, I'm going to bring one of them up yesterday.
Yeah.
I'm so excited about it. I'm a big Beatles fan, and it just looks like
I know you're talking about.
it just looks like a fun, cool, original idea. It doesn't look like the type of film Danny Boyle would do.
And tell me a little bit
for
about.
anyone that doesn't know, and this is not going to be a big budget film, probably with a huge marketing campaign, but it's basically this guy who's a struggling, somewhat inept and untalented songwriter who gets he gets hit by a bus, or
He gets in an accident of some kind.
something like that, and he wakes up and he starts singing a Beatles song. People go, "Oh, that's great! What's that?" And they've never heard. He woke up in a world without the Beatles.
Yeah.
That's an
And
awesome
only
concept.
he knew their songs, and he wrote down all he could, became a big star.
Yeah. I mean, if I were going to put this into a comic book category, it would be
Yeah.
like What If? Because
Yeah.
there were these what if, or it's great sci-fi as What If?
Yeah.
And what if we lived in a world without the Beatles, but
Yeah.
yet you had the magic bullets?
It just looks charming.
I was about to say, I saw the trailer for that movie. I'm
Yeah.
like, I have to see the charm. The charm of the trailer won me over, so I have. And I love Danny Boyle too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we talk about charming. Let's talk about Octavia Spencer in a movie where she shows up as a creepy adult, friending teenagers and helping them with teenagery things. That's a very charming kind of film. Well, Blumhouse is bringing the movie Ma to the big screen on May the 31st. I love Octavia Spencer. She's an incredible actress, and she has become really an amazing producer as well.
Yeah.
And I interviewed her several years ago when she was nominated and ended up winning for the movie The Help. And really just, she really was charming. And I just remember then talking to her, and my kids remember seeing her on The Wizards of Waverly Place.
Really? I didn't know
She was
on that.
she was a witch on that,
Yeah.
and she had this creepy laugh. And so when I was interviewing her, I said, okay, my kids have a question. Can you still do the creepy witch laugh? And she did it.
Nice.
And so Octavia Spencer in the movie Ma, Blumhouse really, they do the low budget thing, but they find a way to make money.
I think that's also
time and
opening
time
up
again.
against the same as Rocketman and Godzilla.
It
May
may,
31st.
but I
Talk
tell you,
about
it's,
counter-programming.
Yeah, exactly.
but you've got so many, it is counter-programming. I mean, you've got different audiences that are going to be watching some of these things.
Yeah.
And for something like this, it's not going to have to make tons of money. So
Yeah.
that's on my list.
One that I know it sounds like they're going to wrap this up, but I would love to see more, and that's John Wick Chapter 3 Parabellum.
Yes.
The first John Wick came out of nowhere. I think they dropped the trailer for that movie like 3 weeks before the movie came out, and I saw it, and it proved that Keanu Reeves still has it. He's doing his own stunts and his own action choreography. And the second one, I prefer it over the first, but they're both great movies. I'm really, really looking forward to seeing this and to see just the improvement upon the action, just how visually pleasing it looks from a cinematography standpoint. I love Keanu Reeves in this role, so I'm excited to see this
It's a feel-good
one.
movie about a hitman.
It is, and a hitman.
And he has a new dog this time. He
Yeah,
finally
I
and,
got a
know.
and it's
dog.
all about the love of the dog.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what started, that was the inciting incident that started this whole thing.
It's a well-justified incident, too.
Don't mess with a man's dog. or
Especially a
woman's
dead wife's dog.
Yeah,
his
just
dead
don't
wife.
mess with a person's dog. Just don't do that. But Greg and I both are big fans of this,
Yeah.
as
Yeah.
well.
Oh, yes.
And the stunts
just
are
added to
It's
it.
amazing.
amazing.
It's
Absolutely
amazing.
amazing.
Yeah.
All right.
Back to now. He's in the MCU, right? I got in trouble a few weeks ago when I said Deadpool was in the MCU, and you guys took me to the woodshed.
But
right?
it's in Marvel,
But
yeah.
Spider-Man is.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
At least for a
Owned
few
by
films
Sony,
so
but
far.
is in the MCU.
So I'm looking forward to Far From Home.
I am
the
too.
new Tom
Yeah.
Holland Spider-Man.
Trailer just recently dropped, and it was, I watched the trailer and I'm like, oh, wow.
Yeah.
I'm excited. And the trailer itself, I think the trailer gave away a lot. I don't know that it gave
I
away
hate
too
it when
much.
that happes.
But, well, I don't know that it gave away too much, but it did give away a lot. I mean,
Yeah.
it
gave-
shared
I
quite a
completely
bit.
agree with you a bit on that.
But Jake Gyllenhaal is in the movie as well as Mysterio. And,
Which is funny because the character of Mysterio in the comics is really dopey, is really silly, because he has a fishbowl, and I didn't know if they were going to put that in the movie.
He has a fishbowl
That's what he
Fishbowl
has
on
on
his
his head.
on his
fishbowl.
head.
That's a fishbowl.
It's
See
like
how
a big
silly
bubble.
that is?
It looks like Mr. Potato Head, but if the potato head was a bubble. You know what I'm talking about, Tim? You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, exactly, just like your head, a big bubble head. That's
You
it.
calling Tim a potato head?
No, that was Zane.
No.
Zane said that.
I do not
Wasn't
have a
me.
potato shaped head.
But yeah,
Tim, I have your back in here.
but this is, that movie does look fun. And
Getting an actor like Jake Gyllenhaal in an MCU movie excites
yeah.
me as well.
Yeah, and the casting for Spider-Man was really spot on.
Yeah.
Tom Holland's terrific. He's
Yeah.
probably the best.
Yeah.
I always liked Tobey Maguire a
did
lot.
too.
I never warmed to Garfield.
I was mixed on Garfield.
Yeah, but I think Holland's better than Maguire.
Well, yeah, and I
What do you think?
I think Holland nails both Peter Parker and Spider-Man. I think Tobey Maguire nailed Peter Parker more than Spider-Man, and I think Andrew Garfield did better Spider-Man than Peter Parker.
That's
Okay.
yes, a
Yeah.
good thought.
So if that
yeah.
makes any
I
sense.
see
I think
that.
Tom Holland both nailed both essences of
Yeah,
Peter
I agree.
Parker and
I think
Spider-Man.
he's the perfect perfect.
Not Peter
combination.
Pan, by the way.
Yeah, but he could be. I mean, he flies through the air with the.
He doesn't fly. He uses web.
It's still in the air, dude.
What a bunch of nerds.
You're not kidding. Well, speaking of nerds, we're going to
New
go
movie.
to the concession stand. We're going to take an intermission and grab some nerds and some popcorn. I invite you to do the same, but make sure that you watch the ads that are coming up right after this. So stick around for more Meet Me at the Movies.
In the summertime when the weather sky when the weather's fine. You got women on your mind. Have a drink.
Education is our most powerful tool to improve and change our world. Hi, I'm Rhonda Benfield, your host for School Matters. Join me for a new program every other week with information from and about the students and staff of Cleveland County Schools. Discover what our schools are doing to challenge students and help them reach their full potential. You can catch us on Spectrum Cable Channel 19 or stream us live on c19.tv.
Arsenic, cadmium, fluorine, formaldehyde, rubidium, lithium.
Do yourself a favor and don't image search for exploding e-cigarettes.
What you don't know about e-cigarettes can hurt you.
Are you ready to take all this in?
Hi, I'm Shara Miller, the host of Artworks. Each month we bring to you wonderful, talented artists from here in Cleveland County and the region. We have artists, we have potters, we have painters, we have musicians, we have actors. We just have wonderful artists that come to you and tell you about all that they're doing, their creativity, what inspires them. Join me here on Artworks each month on C19. You can also watch us online at c19.tv.
They're gonna put me in the movies. They're gonna make a big star out of me.
Welcome back to Meet Me at the Movies.
Chaos ensues.
Mr. Tillman is creeped out by John Rudisell back there behind him, and our studio audience.
There is a resemblance.
He's really, yeah, Greg's really concerned. Tim, I'm not worried about these guys. I think they are performing admirably well, don't you? They're smart, yeah, and they're being quiet. They're being courteous. They're laughing when they need to.
They're silently judging us.
Silently judging.
Silently judging our picks for this
Well,
summer.
welcome back to Meet Me at the Movies. We are talking about summer films right here for this week. Summer Films 2019, and most of the work, 99.17% of it, was pulled together by Zane Grey, who is taking all the credit, and we do appreciate it because he deserves most of it. He deserves
And the
most
Oscar
of it.
goes to Zane Grey.
So when we left the show, we were talking about a movie that does have Samuel L. Jackson in it. That was the Spider-Man Far From Home film.
I know where he's going with this one.
And so I thought, well, I've got to talk about Samuel L. Jackson. He's back again in a movie called Shaft. He rebooted this in the year 2000.
It's been that long?
I think it was 2000 when he rebooted it. This time he's back with 3 generations of the Shaft family. So you got Grandpa Shaft. William Roundtree is back. No, I'm sorry, Richard Roundtree.
As his father?
As his father. He did the original and several in the 1970s.
Yeah.
But 1970 was the original.
Wow.
That's crazy it was that far back.
I hardly remember this stuff. I have to go back and watch
But
this.
and also this one stars his son, so they're a 3-person kind of
It's
private
like the
acting.
Shaft family reunion?
It's the Shaft family reunion,
Wow.
and I think Medea's going to be showing up as well. So that's going to be a heck of a lot of fun. And
I would like to see that in Shaft.
and the Crumps.
I would like to see her.
The Crumps are going to be there too, so it's going to be a heck of a lot of fun.
Eddie Murphy needs a hit.
Yeah, a heck of a lot of fun. So check out Samuel L. Jackson this summer in the Shaft reboot.
18
franchise.
years
Yeah.
later?
I think that's right. I'm
Wow.
pretty sure
We'll
that's
have to
right.
fact check that later.
Well, we'll fact check it, and if we're wrong, I'll take the blame. And email us, info@c19.tv, and I'll send you a prize.
Well, he's going to let
He's
us know.
gonna, your audience can send you
Yeah,
a
John
prize.
Rudisell, he'll let us know. All right, Zane, what else you got?
Probably the movie I'm looking forward to the most this summer is Disney's live action, or quote unquote live action, The Lion King. I've been a fan of what they've been doing with these live action properties, minus maybe Maleficent and a couple others, but getting James Earl Jones back to voice Mufasa, hearing that they're going to have some of the most iconic songs from the animated movie in this, and the idea of them expanding on things, the mythology of The Lion King excites me. The trailers have really won me over with maybe the sense of nostalgia, but just visually pleasing how it looks. And Yeah, I don't know if you call it live action or not because there's nothing live action about it, but it's the
yeah.
CGI is there to make it look photorealistic. And
It is photorealistic.
Yeah.
It's stunning.
Yeah, it is one of those times when you're looking at the trailer and you're like, I can't believe I'm not seeing.
Yeah.
You're seeing it looks like to be real animals on screen.
It's just it's amazing. It's
yeah,
amazing.
yeah.
We'll dive into the other live action Disney.
Aladdin. Disney's Aladdin. I like the original. Everyone knows what it's about. There's been some controversy on the remake, and I think maybe even in Will Smith's
case.
choice as Aladdin. But I'm looking forward to it. I think it looks fun. Will Smith has great comic chops. He hasn't used them much in a while.
Yeah.
So I'm anxious to see what he does with Robin Williams' part.
We haven't gotten Guy Ritchie's style in any of the marketing for that movie yet, and I don't like, even with Tim Burton's Dumbo, like I got the Tim Burton aesthetics. With this though, it's like I see the Disney, but I don't see the Guy. You know what I mean? Like I don't see the Guy Ritchie, like style.
Yeah, and I'm also excited. We'll continue on the family-friendly scope here. Toy Story 4. You know, I thought when Toy Story 3 came out, I could not have thought of a better wrap to a franchise.
Toy Story, yeah.
And I said, you know, with Toy Story 3, I don't want to see him again. But I'm excited about seeing what's going to happen. But as I've looked at the trailers and looked at the stories, I almost feel like they're starting the story over again. That's my only concern with it, but I'm still going to go along for the ride.
Pixar can't do, for the most part.
I'm still going to go along for the ride. So Toy Story 4, you know, you've got all your friends back, Woody, Buzz, and quite a few others, and including a spork. And, you know, who can go wrong with a spork? That's all I got to say about that.
I guess you can't.
All right, give me another one, Zane.
One that's actually got pushed from August to bumping up to July is a A24 horror film called Midsommar, directed by Ari Aster, who directed Hereditary last summer with starred Toni Collette.
It's a creepy film.
Yeah, absolutely. Basically, the gist of the movie is about a couple who travel over to Sweden to visit their friend's rural hometown for its fabled midsummer festival, but what begins as a retreat quickly devolves into an increasingly violent and bizarre competition as they realize that this place is a cult, a pagan cult, if you will. The trailer's creepy. I don't know if any of you have had a chance to see.
Yeah, it reminded me of the Tillman family.
Yeah.
I hate to say that.
Or the studio audience that we've got here, you know, it could be that
Minus
too.
the flowers.
A24 is really keen for their style of horror movies, and I really think that.
Yeah, that is creepy, man.
No, that's God. Stop. Get off the screen. But I'm excited. I think it'll be genuinely creepy, just as creepy as Hereditary was last summer.
Yeah, I think so too. I think so too. Greg, you're not a big horror fan, though, are you?
He doesn't like being spooked.
I don't care for gory films.
Yeah,
I like to be scared. I like to be spooked. I like.
You're more of a Shining, Exorcist classic.
Well, actually, I didn't like The Shining. The TV version, actually, I think is
You didn't
better
like
than
The Shining?
The TV version. Stephen King didn't like.
That
the
doesn't mean you don't have to
theatrical
like it.
Yeah, he didn't like it. He didn't like it.
Whatever.
It doesn't mean that he has to either.
Have you seen the TV version? The
TV version's
miniseries
great.
from the 90s?
With the guy from Wings, what was his name? Stephen
Whatever. Yeah.
Something.
Zahn.
Bishop.
Stephen Harrington.
Stephen Zane.
But he was.
Stephen
I thought that was very good.
was very good.
Yeah, I did too.
But I like spooky stuff. I like
Sure.
atmospheric
Okay.
things, haunted houses, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I don't care for Saw and those
Okay,
kind
so
of
you
stuff.
might want to watch
okay.
this one.
I
I
might
don't say
want
this
to
is
watch
gonna-
it.
I don't
may
say.
wanna
I wouldn't
watch
say
it.
this is going to be like a gore fest. I think it's going to be more atmospheric.
All right, what else you got?
I don't know what I have.
There's a lot more.
Yeah, but I don't. That doesn't
I
mean
gave you
wanna
the
see
pin
them.
for a reason, Greg.
I'm curious about the Men in Black
Okay.
reboot,
Yeah.
kind of, I
Yeah.
guess. Different actors and all that.
Well, you got Thor and you got Valkyrie in it. I mean,
Teaming up
man,
Chris
again.
Hemsworth is just comedy gold.
Yeah.
I mean, he really is.
His comedy has been really improving since
Yeah.
Thor Ragnarok, and
Oh.
even in Endgame.
oh yeah. Yeah,
and he's
that
one of
was-
the few that can do drama as well as comedy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I could see him as Bond. I don't know if the
could too.
I don't know if the Brits could being
Australian.
Australian. New
But
Zealand
But you
or
know what? We
whatever,
got Captain America. Well, was it Captain
Yeah.
America? Wait a minute. No, what? Thor is Welsh.
Well, they weren't
and
excited
we
about
got Tom-
Connery because
Yeah.
he was.
They weren't excited about Daniel
Scottish.
Craig as
Yeah.
James
Yeah.
Bond when he got cast.
But yeah, you know, I agree with you. He
Yeah,
could.
he could be good.
He can
Yeah.
pull Bond off. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that too. That's good. This is one that when I first saw the trailer, it really intrigued me. The movie's called Brightburn, and it is a twist on the Superman story. You know, the concept of this kid crashing on Earth and this family, this farming family, raising him as their own, and you find out this kid's got superpowers.
Yeah.
But what if, another what if,
Yeah.
what if the kid decided to do evil instead of good? That's what you see with this movie called Brightburn. The Gunn brothers are kind of behind this and put this together.
Does this qualify as a DC film?
No,
No,
it doesn't.
I think it's Screen Gems.
No, I mean, it's an original story, so it's
Okay.
but when you watch it, when I first watched the trailer, I'm like,
This is a rip-off of
is
Superman.
Is this a Superman?
Rip-off.
What are they doing here? And so it's a different twist.
It's funny. It reminds me of an old, and I mean old SNL sketch, and it was a what if. Originally, the story was set in the 30s.
Right.
What if baby Superman had crash landed in Nazi Germany?
Oh,
and he
really?
it's called Ubermensch or
Oh
something
my
like
gosh!
that. Yeah.
I've never seen that.
Yeah, I remember that from back in
Okay,
the day.
I have to go back and
Yeah,
watch that because
yeah.
I love the Belushi stuff.
Yeah.
But Brightburn, I'm just
Brightburn looks
intrigued
good.
by it. I'm just really intrigued by that film. All right.
So I feel like Greg's going to give me like the eye roll when I say this one, based on because it's kind of with my generation. I'm looking forward to Hobbs and Shaw, the Fast and Furious spinoff that's opening up this August.
It looks fun, man.
It looks like a blast.
Yeah.
Directed by Chad Stiles. What? this guy over here. It's directed by Chad Stileski, who did he co-directed the first John Wick, Atomic Blonde, and he also directed Deadpool 2. So he's no shy when it comes to action and set pieces and stunts. So I'm really excited to see that. But I'm also excited to see Hobbs or Dwayne Johnson, The Rock, and Jason Statham team up with Idris Elba as the bad guy. I mean, that's awesome. Idris Elba's a great actor. So.
Yep. Cool. All right, we got time for one more each. I think Mr. Tillman, go for it.
If I have to pick one, and I'm not going to see it unless the reviews are spectacular, I'll have to mention Detective Pikachu, I guess.
Hey, you know
Just
what?
because of Ryan Reynolds
Yeah.
and
It
the
looks
potential that
fun.
he
Yeah.
always has in making a part
And just because
better
it's,
than it should be.
because it's so fun to say Pikachu. I mean, how can you not have fun saying it?
But I'm not even
say
a
it.
Pokemon.
Say it.
Pikachu.
See, say it. Say
Greg,
it.
say
No,
it.
I'm not going to
Say
say
it.
it. I already said it once. I don't want
Tim,
to
say Pikachu.
He doesn't have
Say
a
he did
microphone.
it.
It doesn't matter.
Say
He
it
doesn't
was
have
a
awesome.
microphone.
He could have just been mouthing it.
That was
probably.
awesome.
I'll blur out his mouth later.
All right, was there another one that you want to talk about? No? You're
No,
good?
no.
All
Just,
right.
I would like to see the Deadpool sensibility applied to Pikachu. That
Watch
would be
behind the scenes.
entertaining.
Probably he'll probably
Yeah,
have it.
probably so. All right, this one goes out to my wife. My wife was a big fan of the White House Down film, and
more
also
than
a
one.
fan of, well, you'll see where I'm going, also a fan of Olympus Has Fallen.
I like that.
And she really loves those kind of action films. Well, there is Angel Has Fallen, which is the third installment where, the White House Has Fallen
Is that
trilogy.
this summer?
Yeah, it's this summer. Yeah.
It's called what?
Angel Has Fallen. This will wrap the series with action, mayhem, and chaos. So that goes out to my wife. I will be taking her to that.
Well, one thing we didn't mention, and I wish I had noticed that, or I wouldn't have brought up Pikachu at all, would have been Dark Phoenix.
It's the
Kind of
end of
wrapping
a,
up, if
it's
you
the
think.
end of a rebooted franchise.
They keep recasting it, so I guess all the parts, except for Jennifer Lawrence. but so
Yeah,
many
well,
of the
it's
others
now
are
James.
recast.
Well, you've had
had
this is the
James
Fassbender.
Mars
fourth.
in it one
Is this the
time,
fourth in this reboot?
This is the yes.
So, but you know how many X-Men films there have been? 12.
Really?
12 if you count Deadpool, because they're part of the X-Men.
Logan.
Oh yeah, okay,
Well, and Logan.
okay.
that's true.
So that's all, but 12 films going back to 2000.
Yeah.
Same year as Shaft. How about that? So there you go. It all comes back around.
Whoa.
Email us info@c19.tv if you'd like, and even if you don't like, do it anyway because we want you to, and we need it. We need it. Thanks again to Zane for all the hard work, and thanks to Greg for all the hard work for putting all these clips together, and Tim, dude, you just rock, man. And yes, the women at Denny's are still wanting you to come back and visit because of your temptation eyes. Studio audience, we thank you, and John Rudisell back there behind Greg, we thank you as well. You're really just amazing.
We have to
So-
beef up security here.
so thank you all, and if you want to be a part of our studio audience, I don't know why, but you can email us. What's that email address again?
Huh?
Info.
C19.tv.
That's it.
I wasn't listening.
He never does. Till next time, that's a wrap.